Alright, so in this video I want to quickly just shine a light on this mono-white Soul Sisters life gain deck that recently went 5-0 in an online Pauper league. So this archetype has been around for a while in a bunch of different formats, usually a mono-white aggro strategy with tons of life gain effects, usually from Soul Warden and Soul's Attendant, which this deck is playing. So this deck is just a Pauper version of that strategy, which seems to be putting in some decent results. So our main life gain engines are of course Soul Warden, 1 white for a 1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Then very similar, we have Soul's Attendant, 1 white for a 1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may gain 1 life. Then we also have Suture Priest, 2 mana for a 1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may gain 1 life. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you may have that player lose 1 life. So that second effect is really nice in Pauper, since it's such an aggro creature-focused format. We can end up draining quite a lot of life from our opponent with just 1 copy of this. Then the payoff for all of our life gain is this card, Celestial Unicorn, 3 mana for a 3/2. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Celestial Unicorn. So it's essentially the Ajani's Pridemate of this deck, which can get really big really quickly. Then the rest of the deck is basically just a lot of white Pauper staples. So we have 2 copies of Benevolent Bodyguard, 1 white for a 1/1, sacrifice Benevolent Bodyguard, target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Very useful for keeping our Celestial Unicorns alive. Then it's also playing this new-ish card, Priest of Ancient Lore, sort of a white version of Phyrexian Rager, 3 mana for a 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Alright, so we also run the staple Squadron Hawk, 2 mana for a 1/1 flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for up to 3 cards named Squadron Hawk and put them into your hand. And we also have Thraben Inspector, 1 white for a 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, investigate. For removal, we have a full set of Journey to Nowhere, 2 mana for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, exile target creature. When it leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to the battlefield. Then, as one of our bigger bombs, we have Battle Screech, 4 mana for a sorcery. Create 2 1/1 white bird creature tokens with flying. And then it has flashback, and its flashback cost is that we simply tap 3 untapped white creatures. Then to pump the team, we have Silver Flame Ritual, 4 mana for a sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and if at least 3 white mana was spent to cast this spell, creatures you control gain vigilance until end of turn. Then we are running 20 lands, including 2 Radiant Fountains, which tap for colorless, and when they enter the battlefield, you gain 2 life. Then, a very simple but decent looking sideboard here. The best card in the sideboard, the best white artifact hate in the format, is Dust to Dust, 3 mana for a sorcery, exile 2 target artifacts. Then for some combat trickery, we have Prismatic Strands, 3 mana for an instant, prevent all damage that sources of the color of your choice would deal this turn, and it has flashback, and its flashback cost is that you tap an untapped white creature. More artifact and enchantment hate, we have Revoke Existence, 2 mana for a sorcery, exile target artifact or enchantment, great for hitting indestructible permanents like the artifact Jewel lands. And then finally, the rest of the cards, we have Lumathread Field, Relic of Progenitus, and Sun Lance, which is 1 white for a sorcery, deals 3 damage to target non-white creature. So there you have it. That's a pretty cool looking deck, which has posted some good results. I'd like to do some more testing with it myself, and I highly recommend you do the same. As always, if you have ideas for how the deck could be improved or for other cool takes on this archetype, please let me know. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.